Okay, so in this video, I kind of want to talk about something that I've been thinking of, not a lot, but has come into my mind recently, and it's a question more for people who are starting out. How many programming languages or frameworks should you learn? And this is going to be dependent on your situation, as you'll find out more from this video. So there are loads of programming languages out there, and there are more being created. Even probably as I speak right now, someone's making a new programming language. And it's difficult to find out as a beginner, which one should I learn, which one should I pick up. And also there are loads of frameworks as well. These are specifically front-end JavaScript frameworks, but depending on which one of these languages you decide to learn, there are frameworks for those, and people are making loads of frameworks all the time. In particular, the JavaScript ones, there's always a new framework coming out. And it's difficult to know as a beginner, which one should I focus my time on, or which ones should I spend my time on? And I'm going to try and explain how you can do that in this video. So depending on what stage of life you're at, that's going to dictate the method I suggest you should go with. So on the left, you can see there's someone who looks like a student. They don't seem to have a lot of responsibilities. And on the right, there are parents. They've got a child. They are in a relationship. So the husband has a wife. The wife has the husband, and there are things going on. And first, let's talk about the person on the left. So this could be you if you are a student, you're single. Usually that means you're young, but not necessarily. You don't have that many responsibilities and you have lots of free time. So if this sounds like you, if you're a person that has a lot of free time on their hands, then I would suggest that you learn as much as you can. If anything sounds interesting to you, try it out, make a demo project, a Hello World project or to-do app. If any fields, front end, back end, being a database engineer, whatever, just try it out, mess about with it, see if you like it. Then once you've done that, once you've spent a few years or so trying out different things, then from that experience you've gained, you'd figure out what you like and what you don't like. And then you should narrow it down. So narrow your focus down to one field. You find your field and you focus on it. I would say learn one language and one framework really, really well. And then if you want, if you have the capability, you could do two. So you could have one really, really well and one you know well, but not as well as your main one. So I'd say have a main programming language, have a main framework, and focus on that. If you are on the other end of the spectrum, so this couple in the image here, you're a parent, you're married or in a relationship, you're usually older, but that's not always the case. You're responsible for more things and therefore you don't have as much free time. So I would say you don't have that time to mess about. You don't have time to experiment or try new things that come out. You have to kind of narrow your focus quite early on. So you'd have to pick those one or two programming languages or frameworks and focus on them as much as you can. And it's really difficult to know which languages you should focus on straight away. I would suggest that you go on surveys like this Stack Overflow one and see which languages are at the top, see which frameworks are at the top, and also look at job boards. So the kind of jobs that you want to go for, if it's front-end, back-end, machine learning, data, whatever, you find out what languages or frameworks most companies are looking for, and then pick those ones and use them as the main ones you want to learn. Now, if you do happen to have some free time on your hands and you want to try something out, you're more than welcome to, but I would recommend you narrow early and find your focus early and push that forward. As I said at the beginning, this is specifically for newcomers who are coming into programming. If you want to find out what's best for you to do, depending on your life situation, and you're a bit older with more responsibilities, I'd say find your programming languages early and fast. Now, before I end the video, I just want to give a little story of how this idea came to mind and why I'm making this video. And when I was younger, working at my first company from uni, I was in an interview. We were interviewing for a senior front-end developer. So it was me and the CTO. We were sitting on one side of the table, and the person we were interviewing was sitting on the other side. The CTO asked him a reasonable question. He said, "What do you do in your spare time to keep up with new tech, new frameworks, new things going on in the industry?" And the applicant said, "Well, my company give me 25% of time to do learning and development, which I think is great. If your company gives you time, take it." And the CTO, who at the time was in a relationship, it was a long distance relationship, so he kind of had free time after work to do his own thing. He said, "That's not enough." And he's totally correct. Even 25% of your work time is not enough to keep up with the tech industry because it moves so fast. So he said, that's not enough. What else are you doing? And the applicant said, well, I've got a wife, I've got kids, I don't have more time to work on things. And at that time, we were interviewing him. I thought, man, he doesn't have enough time. I don't know if he's going to get the role. He needs to know the ins and outs of the industry. I don't know if we can offer this guy the role because he doesn't spend time learning new things. And unfortunately, the applicant didn't get the role. It wasn't because of this, it was because of something else. I can't remember. Now, I've come a long way since that time. I've got married, I have a child, and I can tell you, finding free time is so difficult with these responsibilities. And now I can see where the applicant was coming from. And so that's why I wanted to make this video. I was kind of having a walk and thinking about this. And I wanted to make this video for the person who is a programmer who is not able to keep up with tech because of responsibilities, and that's fine. Family comes first. Family is more important than programming. So focus on that, and whatever free time you have, if you have any, then do programming stuff. Anyway, I hope somebody found that useful. It was just me kind of giving a rant about life and experiences. And if you did find this useful, then feel free to subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you in the next video.